All right. Thank you so much for coming. My name is Ann Matheny, and I live in the neighborhood. And I'm really just a poor replacement for Kay Christ, who was supposed to be here tonight. She really is the main organizer of tonight's event, but she got called away in a family issue. So we certainly appreciate her pulling this evening together. Certainly appreciate Riverview for allowing us to have this event here. Scott is going to come up here in just a second to talk, but first I wanted to cover just a few things. As we all know, we're getting into those final critical weeks of the campaign. If any of you out there have any time in the upcoming weeks to volunteer, no matter how little, hand out literature, make phone calls, address envelopes, which is my specialty. If you have please let us know on your way out, or just call Scott's office if you find yourself with a couple hours on an afternoon or an evening. There's always going to be something to do. So thank you for considering that. Also, thank you so much for your financial support tonight. It really means a lot. If before the end of the evening you'd care to make another donation, we're here. Do that.
It is a fundraising.
Yeah, it is fundraising. We do have yard signs. We have window posters. I have one pen left here, so come see me about it. It's a special pen. Yes, exactly. And now for the reason we're here tonight. I don't know how many of you saw John Cass's column yesterday in the Tribune. And I was reading it, and it was about Rom, so it kind of came out of the blue when all of a sudden he just hits on it, and he said in one sentence what sums up for me why I'm here tonight, and in terms of being willing to stand up to Chicago politics. So.
Can I get a couple more chairs so I don't do too much? We've had a great last few weeks in terms of the campaign, and I appreciate everyone coming out tonight. As you get into these difficult periods of the campaign where a lot of the heated debate comes out, or what we think might be heated debate, or a lot of the nastiness, it really starts to come out about this time of the election cycle. So when I'm sitting in the debates, and we're actually doing about 10 of them, one of the best things that can happen to me is when I look out in the audience and I see familiar faces, friends and family, and people who've stuck it out with me for the last 4 years. My staff and I really appreciate everything that everyone here has done for us for the last few years. I know that, and they're all here tonight, I think. Is everyone here? All staff?
Pretty much.
All the ones that count.
And that's what you get when you pick up the phone.
Call 311.
So, for those of you who were at the forum at the library yesterday, you saw what's been coming down the pike for a long time. And as you mentioned, John Cass really eloquently kind of pointed out what's been going on here for the last few years. And that is all of us together in this room, and I'm saying all of us because I really can't do this job without all the faces and the names and the people who call and support what we're doing. I couldn't have done it over the last 4 years without you. Because, believe me, when you go in that back room and you're being told to vote on the parking meters, the Children's Museum, even the Olympics, things, big ticket items that don't always pan out the way we want them to, it is really hard to sit there and say no sometimes. Sometimes because we don't know all the facts and things sound really good, and they make them sound really good for a purpose. But when I have people who call me up and say, Scott, that's my little buddy Logan there. He's newest supporter. He's calling. Sorry.
We're not nitty-gritty.
But what I want to say is that I think it's really important for you to know that every ounce of energy that you've given us over the last 4 years, whether you're a resident or a business, wherever you might live in the ward or outside the ward, it has meant a lot to me. It has meant a lot to my staff. and the people who are really out there trying to do the work to keep this city and this ward moving forward. You know, over the last 4 years, I think we've accomplished a great deal. We've done things here in Roscoe Village, like we really stood fast on zoning and development. And if you heard last night, we talked about it last night. It was the neighbors who came to us and said, Scott, we need to stand fast. Will you stand with us? And I said, yes. And over the last 4 years we have. It wasn't that hard because you stood with me.
And your opponents are crying about it.
Right. My opponents thought it was extreme or hokey. That was the best one I heard. Hokey. Now, hokey doesn't register for me when it comes to important issues like that. They also said being an alderman is a simple job.
Yeah, yeah, all it is filling potholes.
Right. Only if you're somebody reading my mind tonight. 2 or 3 people. It is a complex job. But again, if you think about all the things that we've accomplished over the last 4 years, and I feel great about it. When I walk into these debates, yeah, I'm a little nervous, but when I look around the room, I usually throw out everything that we prepped for, you know, for the hours before that. I throw it out the window when I walk in there because I start looking around the room and I say, you know what, we've done work together on a lot of different issues, whatever they might be, whether it's parks, some of your businesses, just family things, education. And I look around, I talk to my staff, and I'm really driving them hard every day. I know they hate that sometimes, but we look around and we say, what is it that we have accomplished, and what can we do better, and what are we going to accomplish over the next 4 years? Now, over the next 4 weeks, we're going to keep talking about those things that we've done, but at the same time, talk about what the ward is going to look like over the next 4 years, and what this city is going to look like. I was able to work with Mayor Daley even when I was going after him on policy issues. I never made it personal with him. And so you can be assured that whoever that next mayor is, I'm going to be able to work with them as well. But I'm going to stand up for what you put me in there for, the issues that we have fought for over the last 4 years. We're not going to back down from those issues. We have to have a better education system. We have to have more green space. We have to have solid zoning and development guidelines, guidelines that are actually being used in other wards because we put them out there first. Now, there's also a new city council coming up.